What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we got a cool one for you today. A special edition of the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. These are some figures that we did a review on individually nearly over a year ago, and both figures were brought to my attention by a good collector buddy of mine, Sir MATHUS, and he was doing a top 10 G.I. Joe most wanted list. He was looking for these particular figures, and two of these figures actually came up on his most wanted list, and he had some very interesting information about these guys, just about how rare they have become. And you guys, you have to understand, I'm old, so I bought these guys way back in the early 2000s, maybe 2001, 2002, and didn't realize how rare and exclusive these figures truly are today. And I have Sir MATHUS to really thank for that. He did a lot of the legwork and the research on, trying to find out what these figures are priced at on eBay, and then we did some research too. And I was just shocked and amazed that these figures, not only one of them, you can't even find one of these guys, and this is the U.S. Marshal that we're looking at. I couldn't even find this guy on eBay. And when I found the Texas Ranger Manhunt, when I looked him up to see how much he was going for on eBay, somebody was asking $125 for this guy. $125 for this guy. And to make matters even worse, to add insult to injury, you're looking at practically a C10 museum example. Well, the one that's on eBay was so badly, the card was so badly bent and dented. I guess it's sad, but I guess that was the going price. $125. And so I sent my good buddy Sir MATHUS a message on his channel, and I told him I would definitely start the search for him. And that's what we do here in our collecting community. If we see something that another collector is looking for, and we can provide it, then we provide it. I wish I had duplicates of these guys. I would just send these guys to Sir MATHUS. He's a phenomenal. Check his channel out, guys. He's a phenomenal G.I. Joe collector. And his channel's been around for about 2 or 3 years. So he's been doing a fantastic job with his channel and with the videos of these beautiful figures. And so I told him that I would do a video showcasing both of these figures together. And it's a win-win for me because I haven't seen these guys in about a year because they were in our archives. So I went to our museum archives to collect these guys and dust them off and bring them back because we wanted to do this video on them. But it's just bring him over here. I just would have never thought that these figures would ever be considered rare. When I purchased them, you're talking about a carded one and I like the big window box here. But these guys weren't that expensive. You know, my Texas Ranger Manhunt figure, I believe, cost me maybe $19, if that. And I think my U.S. Marshal G.I. Joe ran me about $24. These were not expensive G.I. Joes for their time. And now you can't even find these guys practically. But you guys win as the subscribers and our viewership. You guys win because you can see both of these figures. And that's another thing. These videos were made on these guys over a year ago, and nobody saw these videos. These are some of my first videos that I did. So they didn't have very much fanfare. They didn't get a lot of TV time, as let's just say. So let's look at a couple of these guys. Here's my Texas Ranger Manhunt. Bonus inside, you get the G.I. Joe at Pearl Harbor book, which is placed directly behind the figure. Right behind my Texas Ranger. You see it's a few carded figures came with that book. And this is what I made a big deal about when I first saw this figure. This is the first time I saw one of the clip actually loads into the pistol. And I thought that was so cool. There's his handcuffs. He came with a beautiful shotgun holster. Look at the belt buckle. Look at the design on that belt buckle. The G.I. Joe on his shirt. Beautiful white shirt. There's his star. Nice white hat there. Beautiful head sculpt. This was one of the newer head sculpts at the time. Can't see it because he's got jeans on, but he's got boots on under there. Just a beautiful, beautiful figure, and I see why Sir Mathus really wants this figure. Just a beautiful figure, one that I truly didn't think would ever garner any type of attention. And that's, guys, I just say I think that's just how old I'm getting now. You know, both of these figures were purchased at Walmart. I believe it was either Walmart or Toys R Us. It's been so long now, guys, and you know, we have a close to 1,400 G.I. Joes in our thing, so sometimes the memory eludes me. And here were some other figures that you could get, but this card was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. Here's our Texas Ranger in all of his glory there. It's so cool following fellow collectors, because you can kind of see what they have, what they don't have, what you as a collector may be missing, you know. And so we're constantly watching each other's videos to see if you know, somebody has something that you've been looking for, and which adds another element of fun to the hobby of collecting G.I. Joes. And here's his equipment list. And for a carded figure at the time, he came with a ton of accessories. And there's the insert the clip has shown little directions on how to load your Texas Ranger's pistol, the clip. Just a nice touch there. Let's get you a year here. 2001. So once again, you're talking about just a absolute beautiful, beautiful figure. We will, like I said, we will use all of our resources to try to help Sir MATHUS find this figure, because we really want him to have him. I have a few more collector buddies that have big G.I. Joe collections like myself, so I'll be asking those guys and to see if we can find these guys, or if somebody has a duplicate or something like that. But you as the viewers, like I said, and our wonderful subscribers really win, because I venture to say it's probably about 80% of our viewership haven't even seen these two figures on our channel. That's how far down and packed away those videos, those older videos are from last year. You know, a lot of people just check out the newer videos on our channel's playlist. So we have to do a better job at showcasing some of these beautiful figures. And that's our Texas Ranger Manhunt G.I. Joe. He's got the gung-ho grip hands too. Just a beautiful figure. Super rare, hard to find. And here is our G.I. Joe U.S. Marshal. These figures weren't made in large quantity. Once again, it's Hasbro would test figures out in the market just to see how they would do and how they would fare. So you would get 2 or 3 figures. They didn't have a big production run on them, and we can only guess that this is what happened with the U.S. Marshal figure and our Texas Ranger Manhunt figure. Not big production runs on these guys. Let's bring him down a little bit. Let's see if we can give you a better look at him here. Beautiful head sculpt. There's his hat. I hate you know how I feel about those rubber bands. Dog tags. And you see he's factory sealed. He's still got the rubber band coming across his chest there. Look at the shoulder holster there. I always thought that was one of the coolest aspects of this figure, was this shoulder holster, the way it was designed. There's his pistol. Now, I don't think he has a clip with his pistol, but I thought that was nice. Got the U.S. Marshal on his jacket there. Super cool. Belt, jeans. Look at his badge right there, clipped to his hand. He too has the gung-ho grip hands. Got boots on underneath those. And he came with a plethora, guys. We're using our big words today. A plethora of equipment and accessories. Battering ram, zip tie, walkie-talkie and mic comm there. M16, and this is a pump gauge rifle. There's his ID, I believe. Crowbar here, clipboard, and one of my favorite accessories of this whole set. Look at the technology back in 2002 or 2001. And we'll get a year for you. Look at the technology on that cell phone. I think like I said, I said that way back when I did a video on this guy. I had a cell phone that looked like that. How cool is that? And this figure, once again, this figure offered the playability factor, so much playability factor, and obviously the collectability factor is off the charts. Much to my surprise, because that's what I said. I guess I'm just getting that old because all of I said 98% of my G.I. Joes were purchased originally from retail stores when they first came out. So a lot of collectors now that wasn't born then, or was just simply too young, couldn't do that, obviously, and they have to, the power of the internet now. You can get anything off eBay and Amazon and stuff like that, but most of my stuff was purchased out of stores that no longer exist. Guys, what do you think about our Texas Ranger Manhunt and our G.I. Joe U.S. Marshal? Do you have these guys? Do you remember these play sets? Old play sets from many moons ago. Let's turn this box around, which is massive, by the way. And we got to hold it because it's so big. Give you a blown out shot there. Let's get to a year real quick. Yeah, 2002. And this was just a beautiful, beautiful figure. And we just wanted to let our good collector buddy, Sir MATHUS, know that we got his back, and we're gonna join the hunt with him in trying to locate these figures. I'm gonna make some phone calls and see what we can do on our end here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum, because it's all about paying it forward and helping your fellow collector. This is just a beautiful. We call this as collectors a live action shots, because they're actually using the figures as opposed to a art rendering. So they're using the actual figure, which was always cooler because of the playability aspect. It made you want to really play with these figures. And these were not collector. These weren't designed for collectors. And we'll give you just a shot here of his equipment list. There's a slide shot there. And we'll turn back around. And I was shocked, like I said, that, when I saw Sir MATHUS' video about, once again, about how these guys are so sought after and rare. And I said, wait a second, I got those guys. And I never looked at them like that. I actually, guys, I still don't. We have so many Joes here in the our museum. Now I look at all of my Joes the same way. I love all of them, so I don't look at one being, more favorable than the other. You can't put a price on these guys. Not to have, to get that true enjoyment out of these figures. It comes from what's inside you as a collector. There's no dollar amount that'll make you want to, part with these guys. But we want you guys, as our viewership, to see obviously two very rare figures and very collectible figures. Guys, you know the routine. God bless. And keep collecting.